Hi guys, welcome back to Megs HD. So shout out to Joe Weldon. I'll put the link to his channel below. He's only a new YouTuber, but he's got about 25 subs. Let's try and get that sub count up to about 50 if we can by the end of this month, as that would be really great. He's only a new YouTuber. Mostly at the moment he's got gaming videos on there of FIFA, so go check him out. I'll put the link to his description below. But anyway, back to the video. So we've signed 3 players during the transfer window, and 2 on transfer deadline day. Of course only loans, but I don't see Newcastle really buying permanent signings, as with the takeover, adding a permanent signing into the club would up the value of the club, and then they'd have to get a new valuation. So I can see why we got the loan deals, as all the priority is to getting to stay and survive in the Premier League. So we bought in 3 players during the transfer window. So we got Slimani from Leicester, Kennedy from Chelsea, and Martin Dubravka from Sparta Prague. So 2 of the 3 have in their loan deal contracts that we can sign them on a permanent deal at the end of the loan. Maybe Slimani has as well, I'm not sure, but Kennedy and Martin Dubravka do. And I've got to say, I've seen Martin Dubravka play from a few videos on YouTube, and he's a really good keeper. He's got a very good clean sheet to games ratio. Kennedy played absolutely amazing against Burnley on Wednesday night as well. So he is an absolutely amazing acquisition so far. Slimani, I'm sure, no doubt he'll be absolutely amazing. It's only that Leicester didn't play him. He only played him a couple of times, and from what he played a couple of times, he was really good. And you can't go wrong, you know. 30 mil signing he was for Leicester. I think it was a couple of years ago. They only signed him just for the Porto game, with him being the Dragon Slayer. So hopefully Newcastle can get him on a permanent if he is any good, but of course he won't be able to play until the Man United game. And Martin Dubravka is hopeful to play and make his debut against Crystal Palace on Sunday. But to the 6 players that went out, we've got Rolando Aarons to Hellas Verona, Jack Colback to Nottingham Forest, Henri Savat to Sevastopol, Mitrovic to Fulham, Jamie Sterry to Crewe Alexander, and Freddie Woodman, who was on the bench on Wednesday night, made his trip across the border to Scotland to be on loan for the remainder of the season for Aberdeen. So out of the 6 players that went out on loan for the remainder of the season, a few of them I'm sure will probably be with an option to buy, along the lines of Mitrovic, Colback, Henri Savat. You know, them kind of players. I think them 3 are probably going to be with an option to buy. I can't see Newcastle wanting to keep them really. Mitrovic isn't rated by Rafa. Newcastle were trying to get rid of Henri Savat from the beginning, and Jack Colback has fallen out of favour as well with Rafa. So I think Newcastle will look to offload them come the summer window. But all in all, transfer deadline day wasn't really amazing, pretty quiet. The only good thing that came about the day was Newcastle getting a 1-1 draw against Burnley, which should have really been a win if it hadn't been for the own goal going in from Caldolo. Again, not Caldolo's fault, as I said in my review, which will be up in the top corner up here if you want to go check that out. But yeah, all in all, transfer deadline day pretty quiet. Typical really for Newcastle of the last decade or so since Mike Ashley took over as owner. So As always, make sure to like and subscribe to the video, to the channel rather, and I've been Mugs HD, and I'll see you later.